How to set rates for voiceover. So it's always a bit daunting to quote on a voiceover project. Very often the client will give you only a few basic specifications and it's not enough information to enable you to give a considered quote. So first off, what are some of the things you got to ask for in order to quote with all the parameters taken into account? Number 1, ask where the voiceover will be used. Is it meant for broadcast or non-broadcast? If broadcast, where will it be aired? TV, radio, OTT? On which platforms? Which regions? Local, regional, or international? And number 2, for how long? A few weeks, months, a year, 2 years, or in perpetuity? If it's a full buyout, you have to be compensated fairly for that. It needs to be factored into your quotation. The larger the audience it is served to, the higher your quotation should be. Number 3, if it's non-broadcast, whether it'll be used online or on social media, out of home, cinemas, museums, apps, organically, passively, or will there be any paid advertising push, as in a full-blown campaign? If yes, how long again? The more platforms it's going to play, the longer the duration, the higher the rate. Number 4, you will need to understand the word count or the duration of the voice in terms of seconds, minutes, or hours. This will also have a bearing on the cost. Number 5, if you need to play multiple character voices, you could charge extra for every additional voice. Number 6, if you have to do the VO in a couple of hours the same day, that urgent delivery should be an additional cost. Number 7, you could charge an additional fee to do a live directed session and charge differentiated rates for the duration of the session, like one rate for a 1-hour session and another rate for a 2-hour session. Number 8, you could charge extra to go over to a studio where travel is going to cost you. Number 9, you could also charge extra for adding background music to the voiceover. A non-copyrighted track from the internet will cost you, and your service to add this in should also be factored in. Number 10, you could also charge for editing, either buffer in the cost of your time taken to edit the material or charge it as an extra at a fixed rate of, let's say, $50 per hour. If, say, it involves separating audio files and splitting them into hundreds of files, you could charge perhaps $1 per file split. There are many charging methods. You could charge per hour, per minute, per job, per word, per page, and even per day. Refer to the Global Voice Academy Rate Guide to give you an idea of the market rates set for each genre of voiceover. It's pretty comprehensive. Not all narration is charged equally. A lot of factors go into the charging methods, and arriving at a fair rate based on market rates, your own experience level, plus the various budgets clients have, is a tricky business. A lot of VO artists find it a bit confusing and are sometimes not sure whether they're quoting too low or too high. Most of us want to quote a rate that is acceptable and compensates us for our time and expertise. And we certainly don't want to drive the client away because he or she feels we're too expensive. Lowballing, on the other hand, affects the entire industry and drives prices down further, affecting everyone in the long run. That's why it's more important to learn market rates for each genre of voiceover to quote fairly, irrespective of whether you're a newcomer to the industry or not. Allow the clients to decide which voice they prefer to go with. Your demo or previous work should speak for itself. After all, you are offering the same service. Experience would matter where the billing is happening per hour in the studio. If you have to retake lines many times, for example, or are slower at nailing the read, then it'll probably cost the client more to hire you. So offering a newcomer discounted rate could offset that so they don't feel they've made a mistake hiring you. Doing a profile check on the client, whether they are a multinational company listed on the stock exchange or whether they are a small, medium-sized enterprise with a smaller budget, you can quote according to the budgets assigned based on their affordability factor as well. A dipstick check on their budget helps you understand their needs better, and you can take a call based on your own comfort and bandwidth to take on a new project at that time. If it's not such a busy time, you could easily take on a lower budget project on your downtime. All the small projects, after all, add up at the end of the month. Tools, like a handy script timer to calculate how long it'll take you to complete your project in the studio and how long it'll take you to edit the content, helps you quote accurately as well. It's a good practice to have a base fee that you set yourself, your recording and performance fee that you will charge per hour, let's say, and then build on top of that based on all the parameters stated above, like usage and loading and licenses required. It can be a bit intimidating, but with a good reference guide and a little practice, you could draw up your own pricing chart and refer to it whenever you get the next inquiry. So you can be rest assured and feel prepared to state your price upfront, boldly and confidently. Happy quoting! For more information and to deep dive into the world of voiceover with tips and tricks to get started out in this exciting and creatively challenging career, you can visit wondersofthevoice.com and sign up for our upcoming Wonders of the Voice beginners and advanced guides that will unravel the voiceover world. The course is run by a veteran and award-winning voiceover artist, Noella Menon, who has coached thousands of aspiring voiceover artists since 2015. For a quotation for a voiceover for your next media project or corporate video, visit www.voicefораds.com.